Right, another week. So today is Monday, 29th of March, week commencing. I'll have a quickly go through my fuel prices. So UK fuels, that's the Shell card for UK fuels, not their own one, own networky one. That's 101.78 pence a litre, and the BWOC or WOC is 100.01 pence a litre. You think they'd shave 0.02 off, wouldn't you, to get under a pound? But anyway, so basically it's £1. I'm going to be using that one this week. Works out pretty much bang on 120 a litre with the VAT, which is not bad for branded fuel. Cheaper than most supermarkets, so yeah, it's pretty good. So the prices, both of them have come down this week, which is quite good because they've only been going one way lately, which is each week they've been going up. It's quite nice to see them go backwards. Hopefully that continues, or they at least stay about the same. Yeah, while I'm on about UK fuels, they're really annoying, to be honest. I used to find they'd ring me up all the time to ask me how it was going and stuff, but all they really wanted to do was to try and sell me a tracker. And I kept telling them I don't need a tracker. It's just me, I'm an owner driver, I know where I am. They stopped doing that. And then they were phoning me because I wasn't using it. They dropped their price 1 week, so I started using it, and then it went straight back up, so I stopped using it. And then they haven't rang me about my fuel price again, but they keep ringing me now and saying, oh, we just haven't got all the details we need on your account. Whereas, I had it with them almost a year before they started saying this, and what it is basically they've started doing insurance. So we're trying to find out when my insurance policy is due for renewal. So that's not the case at all. It's just a bit annoying, really. It's a sales thing. I told them when it's due, I might give them a ring. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell them when my renewal is. But they just keep ringing me. I'm going to save their number now on my phone, because when it pings up, when I'm on the job, I don't know if it's a shipper. It's just a pain in the ass, really. They always ring at inopportune times as well. So anyway, that's UK fuels. I think the Shell card through them, because it's slightly more expensive than their own one, I might be better off switching to their own one and then see if it's closer, because at the moment the Block one doesn't really have much competition on price. No, it is more straightforward to use UK fuels because I just know which brand I can use, and it's any of them. Whereas the Block one, I have to look on the Key Fuels website to see where I am, where's somewhere I can go, and also make sure it isn't supermarket fuel wherever I go. Today, Monday, I got up a bit earlier than normal because conscious I was missing. Like last Monday, I ended up not getting anything. So I got up, I started bidding on jobs just before 9 this week. It was almost 10 last week, I think. Actually got a job 20 past 9. It was from the West Midlands, about 12 miles from home. And it was 2 drops, one in... God, I've forgotten where it was. It's in London, just off the M11. And then another drop down right on the tip of Kent, where I am now. So it was dropping off in Broadstairs, which I've never really been to this part of the world before. So just north of Broadstairs is Margate, which is like a touristy, beachy place, and then south of that is Ramsgate. So I dropped off. It's picking up from like a joinery manufacturing place. One of them jobs when you see the details, you think that sounds familiar, but I didn't realise until I actually got there. Oh yeah, I've been here before, and realised I'd actually done a job for the same shipper from there before. Wasn't sure if I'd done a job for them before I actually got to the place. And it was just delivering to 2 shops. One was in like a smallish shop in a shopping centre, and the second one was like to one of these big outdoor DIY type stores. So that was a lot easier. But with both of this, something I do when I see it's a shopping centre or a big retail park type place, if you just bang in a postcode, it's going to take you somewhere near. But what I do is I put it onto satellite view, look where the goods yard is, because quite often the goods yard, to get to it, you have to go like a different way than if you were going to the shops and parking in the main car park. So yeah, I did that for both of them, and it worked out quite fine, really. Saved a lot of hassle getting there and then trying to work out where you're going when you get there. Better off doing it beforehand on satellite view, in my view. The first drop, they were kind of like, oh, can you drive it around the front of the store? And I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that's just buses at this time of day. So I left it on the back. They had a bit of a walk with his pallet, but it's quite light. Second one easy enough, just forked off. Yeah, so I've driven 3 miles down to Ramsgate. It's quite quiet down here, but I'd rather be here. Ran like too close to London, really. Hopefully something pings up. Nice to get something arrested today, but if not, yeah, it's not the end of the world. So like I say, 187 for this job. It's 212 miles. This is quite cheap, but I was keen to get out and roll in. It's only going to be a 4-day week this week, I should have said, because bank holiday Friday, Easter bank holiday this weekend coming. Yeah, so it's about 86.5 pence a mile, I think. Loaded, it's just under 83 pence a mile, loaded and unloaded. But it was quite a long run, so even at a pence a mile isn't great. It took me about 5.5 hours for them 187 quid, so that's where longer jobs pay off, because it was pretty straightforward, and traffic was fine, both tipping probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes combined tipping for the 2 drops, and I picked up in 10 minutes. So yeah, that's when it works out well. Anyway, that's going to go and have a wander down the beach now. Not going to film when I'm out and about doing this, because it's too windy and it'll just make too much noise, but I might do a few clips. Go and check out the White Cliffs and all that jazz. Right, Tuesday evening now. Excuse me, about 7:30. Yes, had a really nice walk around Ramsgate yesterday. Right along the beach, did loads of walking actually. Checked out all the White Cliffs and stuff. So quite nice to see. Don't see anywhere else really in the UK. Into the harbour. Got some chips, fish and chips actually. I don't get on with batter, so I just normally just have chips, but I just got haddock and chips because it was on offer, and took all the batter off. Seemed to go away with it. Yeah, it was nice. Checking out all the boats and stuff. One thing that struck me yesterday was so this week, as of Monday, they slightly released, that's the word, these COVID restrictions, so up to 6 people now can meet outdoors, or unlimited numbers from only 2 households. And by like the Wetherspoons, if anyone knows Ramsgate, Wetherspoons is right on the beach, and behind Wetherspoons, so the beach side away from the road, there's probably at least 12-15 people all getting pissed up. Just look like local people, not kids either. And then later on, when I was getting chips at a chippy just across the road, there was a motorcycle meetup. So there's probably about 20 to 30 motorbikes there, and motorcyclists. No signs of a police or anything, so that's quite interesting. Did think, no wonder Kent have got their own variant of the COVID, if that's carrying on, but ayo. Yeah, so I had a good look around, something to eat. And then I was thinking about Kipping Air as well, where I was parked in the back of the van, but I decided I needed to fuel up anyway. It's just below half. So I fueled up and then went to a Tesco, sort of, it was on the outskirts of Ramsgate, and I thought it was a good chance there won't be any parking restrictions there, because it's quite far away from town and other shopping parks and stuff, and there wasn't, so I kept in the Tesco car park. There's no time restriction. Then this morning, a few jobs came up yesterday for this morning, but I didn't get any. Apparently because I was just like too far, both from Ashbourne, which was like 40 miles from where I was. So I was including that kind of in a job, but at my minimum charge. Didn't get any of them. And then the job pinged up this morning. When was it? It was about 8:30 it pinged up. I couldn't pick up till 10. Maybe it was 8:15 actually. Multi-drop, 30 drops out of ME10, Sittingbourne. It pinged up for 30 drops in ME postcodes. So I thought, oh, that's alright, because it's quite local to the depot. The depot's ME10. And then another one pinged up 30 drops in CT postcodes. So I rang them. Actually, I tried to ring them, couldn't get through. So then the ME job disappeared, ME postcodes. So I put a bid on the CT one, and then she rang me up. I says, yeah, I'd rather do ME if you only got any left. And she said, sorry, that's gone. He's interested in the CT, which was sort of West Cambridge and down where I was. Thought, okay, I'll do that then. Got the job, couldn't turn up till 10, got there at 10. They gave me ME postcodes anyway, so I told them I was there for CT, but they gave me ME, so I wasn't going to argue. A new parcel depot I've not done work for before. Well, what was? I won't mention the shipper's name or anything, but it was DHL. And the lady did say it was a bulk round, so there might be like multiple parcels for some of the drops. And that was the case. I don't know how many parcels I had in total. There's one primary school that had 28 laptops. That one turned out alright in the end. Yeah, and they gave me one of their scanners. Quite a good scanner, this one. Actually, the battery's really good on it. So I didn't have a charge, but it lasted. Didn't do the navigation, but scanned them onto their optimize. And then on the run, it was just a case of I had 1 to 30, so I loaded them and marked them up as I loaded. Yeah, I was just using Google Maps on my phone to navigate between the two, but the way they set it up, there's this thing called dwell time, which is how much time they allocate at each stop. And I know when I used to do it at Yodel, the standard was 2 minutes 40 for their own guys. The guys are on, PAYE, guys are own employees in their own vans. But like if you were doing it and trying to do it quick, a contractor, and you had like a busy round and multiple on the street, you'd get down to more towards 2 minutes. But that's when you know the round and it's really busy and not far and easy household drops mainly. So this was bulk. A lot of it was businesses and heavy items, and it was a lot of them because it said for each drop 1 minute 30, some of them, and 2 minutes some. So yeah, I was losing time. Plus, when they optimised the route, the guy, I think he just said I was going to leave then, or didn't give me enough time to load. So I didn't get to my first drop until like 10 minutes from the end of my 1 hour slot. By the end, I was like over 2 hours out. But I don't think they were too fast. It all got delivered. There was 2 I took back. Mileage wise, worked out really well. I had 32 miles to drive to get there, but the route miles were only 66 miles. It was 160 quid. So that's loaded miles, like it was well over £2 a mile, and it's over 160 including getting there. So that's the good thing. Worked out quite well. Done about 5:30. Back at the depot at 6. So that's that done. Beast my sort of pence per mile up. So it was like 8 hours in total for 160. So that's like 20 quid. So multi-drop generally you do lucky to do 25 quid an hour. I think you have to just be happy with 20 quid an hour. But you do a lot less miles in theory. So like your costs are a bit lower, but they're quite heavy miles on the van in terms of wear. So don't plan to do too much more multi-drop, but it's kind of like filling a gap at the moment while it's quiet. I'm hoping once it picks up from just less than 2 weeks now, 12th of April, all the shops open and it starts to open up properly. Hoping I can do a lot less multi-drop. Yeah, so I just had a Chinese. I'm actually going to drive now 6 or 7 miles to motorway services because my pension mile's been quite good today. And I'm going to go to motorway services and have a shower. So I've never had a shower at motorway services on the M2, a moto there. So I thought I might as well do that. what I have been doing now is when I go to stop at services to get a sandwich or to go to a toilet, just having a quick look to see what the showers are like, because I've heard some are pretty decent and some are shocking, so not sure about this one. I hope pretty decent. Nothing lined up for tomorrow, but I've got a few bids in. Rang one guy up about a job to Cardiff from sort of not too far from here. But he says he doesn't know if it's going to happen until 8:30 in the morning, so give him a ring back. So I've got him quite keen on that one. Just to get out to the southeast will be nice. Yeah, so that's a long update, but yeah, it's quite a long day. I'm pretty tired now, not stinky, but feeling pretty grubby. It's like 20 odd degrees today. Beautiful day, but bit of a shock to the system. But anyway, that is the end of Tuesday. Wednesday evening now, about 6 o'clock. Actually a really busy day today. Yesterday was a shock to the system with the weather being so warm and pleasant. Today was a shock to the system because it's been pretty much non-stop. Yeah, and the services, the showers, yeah, they were fine. It's great to get a shower. Still feeling a bit grubby already today. Quite a hot, sticky one today. Yeah, so today my day started before I got out of bed, because I was lying there in bed, and I made a silly error last night. With hindsight, it was only saying it was going to get down to like 6-7 degrees, so I thought I'll try it without the heater. Yeah, I was too cold by don't think I got a great deal of sleep. I think I woke up maybe 3 in the morning, never really got back to sleep properly after that. Very light sleep because I just felt a bit too cold. I couldn't be asked getting up to sort the heater out and stuff, so it was too late for that. Yeah, so I'm pretty tired today because of that. But yeah, I was lying in bed, and I normally close down all my apps at the end of the day just to keep the phone running quickly, and then I put it on sort of like mute apart from or silent notifications, so only the alarm will make a noise. And this morning when I was lying in bed still, I just looked at my phone. I opened all the apps. So I opened the ones I always open, which are and I'm working, which is WhatsApp, my email for my work account, my work email account, and CX itself. What scrolled through, and there was one job on there, a short wheelbase job, only 15 minutes from me, going up to Nottingham, and I thought, well, that'll be worth having. I think it's only like 7:15 this, about that time. So I bid on it, thinking I'm very unlikely to get it because I'm in long wheelbase. So I quoted 127, I think, which was 75p a mile for me, including getting there. But I thought, it gets me out of the southeast, which I was quite keen to do. And then I kind of like snoozed again. And then I looked at my phone and realised I hadn't taken off silent notifications. I'd missed a call 2 minutes ago. So I rang the guy. Oh, and he says, yeah, what it is it's one pallet. We sent one of our own guys in. It was down as a short wheelbase job. He said, we sent one of our own guys in a Mercedes Vito, and it won't fit. So we need someone there ASAP, but it's only a short wheelbase job. Can you do it for 120? That's 75 pence a mile, just the loaded miles. So I was like, yeah, okay. I just accepted it to get out of there. Obviously, ever here is a Mercedes Vito is not a short wheelbase van. It's more, I would class it more as a midi van, which is a class you don't see much on the CX, but it is there. Yeah, it's not. It's bigger than a small van, but it's not a short wheelbase van, a Mercedes Vito. So anyway, got the job, but I did put, even though I was 15 minutes from there, I put half an hour, knowing I'd have to get up and pack away. So then I had a crazy 15 minutes getting up, getting dressed, putting all my crap away, taking my bed down, straight in the van. No time to go to a toilet. I was parked in like a big retail park, shopping centre. There was a Sainsbury's there. I didn't have any time to go to a toilet or get anything to eat. It was just, and there was an M&S there. So straight to the place. Got there. Yeah, it was just some cardboard, flat pack cardboard on a pallet. But the thing is, it was really long. So it was like 1.2 wide. Maybe it was probably 1.5 meters or more long. Too long to get in the back of this Vito. Anyway, that sounds it. Yeah, so I just that was that job. Picked it up. Probably tell I'm a bit knackered. I'm losing my train of thought already. Picked that up, straight up to Nottingham. Trouble on the M25, so I went a different way to what Google was telling me, which might have shaved a bit, might a few miles off. I managed to shave 5 miles off getting there, so instead of being 11 miles, it was 6 miles. And then I was up to Nottingham, dropped off at a packaging place, like a printer's. I'm trying to piece the day together now. And then I just went and pulled up round the corner from the place, because something I like to do, I think of, as soon as I do a drop, I think of the 2 sites. So both spellings of the word. So the first one, SITE, is get off site, because generally just get out there to, so you're not in the way. And if the truck turns up, you don't get boxed in or held up that way. So that's my first one, get off site. And the second one, I think to myself, is the other site, SIGHT, which is get out of sight. The reason for that being, if they realise there's something wrong with whatever you delivered, maybe it's not all there or something, they don't come to you and say, here mate, this ain't right, and think you're from the customer you picked up from, because they don't realise sometimes you're just a courier, even if you say so. So that's the primary reason. And also, I think if you just pull up just outside the place and then sit there for like 2 hours trying to get a job, they might wonder what you're up to, or if they're the ones who have ordered you and paid a lot of money for your services, and then you just go and sit there for hours. It just doesn't look good. So that's the thing for me. Get off site and get out of sight. That's what I think to myself. Thought I'd share that and to know what you guys do. It's over below. And then I think it was just my luck was in today. I pulled out off site, out of sight, just down an adjacent road in this industrial estate, and then the phone rang before I'd even had time to finish doing the admin from my last job. So I was scanning that up to the CX and putting the paperwork away in my folder, and then the phone rings, and I thought, oh, this must be the shipper for the job I've just done, asking how it went or something. But no, it was another shipper saying, oh, have you got a van in NG2? Because I was like close to the middle of Nottingham. I was like, yeah, that's me, mate. Just me, one-man band. Because are you available? I says could be. What's the job? Said it's a medium wheelbase job. From NG2 where I was to BL6 or something. I can't remember. Up in Bolton anyway. So I said to him, okay, how many miles is it? Because I knew I was going to be really close to it, because I was in the same postcode. He said it's bang on 100 miles. So I think he Google mapped it. Says, oh, I can do it for 100 quid. Because he'd rang me, so I thought, even if it's a medium wheelbase job, I'm going to go in at a full £1 a mile, and it's only 100 miles. So he says, yeah, you can do that. Got the job. Turns out it was like half a mile from me. Picking up more packaging. 2 pallets this time, €2. One of just standard boxes, flat pack, and the other one was kind of like display cases, and they went to a printer's up in Bolton, so I think they were going to get branded stuff on the outside. I had a look at the invoice paperwork. It was something to do with a famous tea brand.
Because here we make more than just tea. We make proper brews. Brews that bring a tear to your eye and warmth to your soul. So go out there and do it for each other. Do it for yourselves, but most of all, do it for Yorkshire! Oh, and the fire drill's Thursday at 3.
Yeah, that one. I quite like that advert. If I can find that advert online, I would have put it up. It's quite funny. Anyway, yeah, dropped that off. So that was second job done. Second lot of packaging, mostly cardboard boxes and stuff. And then I had a quick look at the feed. There was a job from about 5 miles from me, but it was like 3 miles long. It was a long wheelbase job, so I went in at 40 quid. So it was like 3 miles loaded. Got it. Turns out it was another packaging place, a place I've been to a couple of weeks ago. I picked up from there. I had to drop in Bootle, and I just about got there in time in Bootle because I was packing up, just about to bugger off. So I picked up from that place, not in Bootle, the Bolton one, the pickup, and delivered to a place, like 3 miles down the road. So that was 40 quid for doing about 8 miles. That was pretty good. And that took me to just before 5. And I've been sat here just listening to the radio, checking out jobs. Quite a lot of jobs pinging up around here. Still reckon North West's the best place. I do think it's starting to pick up now. I need to do my market research tonight thing and see how it compares to how it has been, if I remember. I've actually got a job lined up for the morning, picking up from Burnley. So I've got 27 miles to get to Burnley. And then it's from Burnley down to Stafford. So Stafford's really close to home. Tomorrow is Thursday, but it's Bank Holiday Friday, so I've got to get home tomorrow. And I've quoted it. This is a short wheelbase job. I've noticed this job got posted a few times, so I quoted it, and I quoted it £1 a mile loaded, which works out just over 75 pence a mile, all miles, which isn't great, but it's getting me closer to home. And I got it. He rang me up. He said, "Oh, you've quoted 74 quid." And I was thinking, here we go, he's going to try and knock me down. Let's see what his offer is. Maybe I can go to 70 quid or whatever. Gets me closer to home. And he just says, "Oh, I'll send it over." So that is Wednesday. Pretty shattered now. So I've checked out, I can get a cheap travel lodge in Rochdale. So I think I'm going to book that, head there, so get showered up. Not doing, so today's been 120 for the first job, 100 for the second, and 40 for that, so 260 off of 3 jobs, which, yeah, it's quite a long day. But that first job was delayed getting up here. I reckon on a good day, really excellent day in a long wheelbase van, you can do 400 a day. Takings, obviously, 200 quid jobs, going down country and back up again. Because 374 was my best day. I say 365 to, I did 374 was my best day in the short wheelbase. I'm sure I can do 400 when all the stars align in this. But anyway, yeah, that's thing. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just gonna head to Burnley, Rochdale, sorry, get this travel lodge, and I don't need to be there till 9 in the morning, so I'll make the most of the accommodation. Right, yeah, so just to update on the, something on the screen, just something on the screen, yeah, update on the Thursday, of course it was, not Friday, but it was the last day of the week because Bank Holiday Friday. I stayed in that travel lodge, yeah, it was really good, 25 quid, that's where I stayed in Rochdale. It was kind of on the way to the pickup, but slightly off, so probably an extra 6 or so miles on. But yeah, it worked out all right. It's actually a brand new travel lodge. The whole place just smelt of new carpet. I think it literally just opened. Didn't get the greatest night's sleep for some reason, but yeah, went and picked up this job on the Thursday morning, and bit of a pain in the ass at the pickup. It was picking up from like a huge distribution centre. Not for one company, I think they were a company that do like imports and stuff, fulfillment. And as soon as I drove into the drive, I thought, I looked at the job notes, I didn't have a pickup number, reference number, and I thought, well, I'll just chance it at the gate, tell me details. But yeah, he just says, well, we can't let you in or let anything go without a reference number. So he let me in. I had to ring the shipper and wait 5 minutes or so. But yeah, sometimes, you know, if you're going into that places, you need a reference number. As I've learned, in that faffing around, a couple of 18-ton trucks turned up, rigids, which meant I was then behind them in a queue. but because it was only one pallet, the guy did say to me, "Oh, you just have to wait now for these to be loaded." I just said, "It's only one pallet, mate," and he goes, "Yeah, okay, fair enough," and then loaded me, and I was on my way straight off. Easy enough tip. Tip into this job was on behalf of like a manufacturer of computers that do a lot of laptops. If you go into like PC World, there'll be loads of them on display there. I used to have one, and it's delivering to Stafford, South Stafford. If you know the Argos sort of distribution place just off the M6 in Stafford, he wasn't there, but it was right next to there. Yeah, so got that tip really easy. The tip, parked up around the corner, got a job within about half an hour. Had my sandwich, bid on a few jobs. Got a job so I wasn't far from home then at all. And then I got a job from West Brom into Birmingham. Went in at 55 quid. The job itself was only like 6 or 7 miles, but I had to get to West Brom. Yeah, picked that up. Turned out to be strips of metal, 500 of them, on like this really long, thin pallet. So it was a bit of a pain in the ass to get loaded. Forklift driver wasn't impressed when he saw my van, but you know, I'd just been sent in. He knew it wasn't my fault. But yeah, he was effing and blinded, saying, "Why do they always send fucking stupid vans in to get stuff like this?" And I was like, anyway, got it loaded in the end, and at the tipping point, he didn't have a forklift anyway, so he had some there because it was a building site. They handballed it off. I actually cocked up on this one. It was the building site was a government department, and from my days of doing Uber Eats and a bit of Deliveroo in the middle of Birmingham on my bike back in like 2018, probably a bit into 2019, I kind of thought, I know where that is, but it wasn't that one. It was about 1.5 miles down the road. So yeah, I kind of cocked up on that one, but got away with it because it was close enough. Got that tipped, then went around the corner to a Tesco to find a toilet, and then got another job, minimum charge job, from Walsall to Birmingham, sort of towards Minworth way, B46 I think it was. So a bit of a drive to get to it, but again it was only like, can't remember how many miles, like 6 or 7 miles loaded. Went in at 50 quid for this one. Yeah, and what the hell was that? Can't remember now. It was galvanized, some galvanized metal parts in like a stillage, or like crates on a pallet. That was easy enough, wasn't too heavy. Delivered to some, like, again, more like distribution fulfillment centre. I think it's something to do with JLR, Jaguar Land Rover. There's a lot of that stuff around the West Midlands, obviously. Yeah, and got that one off. So I did that job down here, which didn't pay great money. Actually paid £1 a mile loaded, pretty much. But I had a few miles to get there. So the overall rate wasn't great, because I was looking at it loaded and unloaded. But then I did 2 like minimum charge jobs really, so the £1 per mile rate for the day was pretty good. Yeah, so that was Thursday. Right, so yeah, give myself a haircut as well. This is COVID cut Mark 5 or 6 with clippers. I think I'm just going to continue, to be honest. I'm getting the hang of it now. Pretty short on the sides and stuff, but it is getting warmer. Right, so yeah, like I say, this week only 4 days on a run, because Friday was a bank holiday. I didn't get home any night. I stayed one night in that Travelodge, which is 25 quid, but I'll put that down as a taxable expense, so I'll effectively won't pay any income tax or national insurance on that money. That's kind of how it works. You don't get it all back, you just get what you would have paid income tax on that. And national insurance, the sort of, there's 2 parts of national insurance there, isn't it? So it's not the fixed bit, it's the, you know, one that's linked to how much you earn. So Monday, one job for 187. That was a job down to the southeast. Tuesday, one job for 160, which was the multi-drop, which was good pounds per mile that day. And then Wednesday, Thursday, it got really busy. So 3 jobs each day. So Wednesday, 120, 140 for 260, which is my best day of the week. Thursday, 94 and 55 and 50 for 199. And I tipped, I was not far from home. I was like 10 miles from home, if that. So that was pretty good. Kept the minimum, kept the miles, dead miles to get home at the end of the week low. I say bank holiday Friday. Yeah, so Wednesday and Thursday were really busy. I'll add a photo of my, I've left it in the house. I ran my normal market research to see how busy it was on the Wednesday and the Thursday. I did it on a Wednesday and there was so many jobs. It was like 3 times as much as it was last week or something like that, daft. Or there has been recently. And then the Thursday was pretty much the same. So I was kind of thinking, why is it jumped up so quickly? Nothing's really changed too much in terms of the lockdown. But then it occurred to me, you quite often get, it gets busier. The CX companies want stuff delivered and invoiced at the end of financial quarters. But this was actually the end of the financial year. So I think that's what it is. So companies want stuff delivered so they can, once it's delivered and they've got proof of delivery, they can then invoice the customers for the goods. And once they've invoiced it, we don't have to get the money because companies work off invoiced amounts, particularly big companies. So they've all probably got their end of year targets for sales and all this stuff. So they just want to get stuff out the door pronto towards the end of quarters and especially towards the end of the financial year. Because it starts on the 6th, I think it's the 5th, so is it tonight? At the end of this financial year, 6th, the next one starts tomorrow, I believe, or something. I'm not entirely sure about the dates. But today, it's Monday. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to necessarily mean it's going to be busier next week. In fact, it might even totally die next week because stuff that they've really pushed stuff out the door. And it's a 4-day week. Again, for most people. So you'll have to see how it goes this week. So basically, anyway, that total 806 quid, which is 4 days, so it's £201.50 a day. Obviously, that's my takings. So I've got the normal fixed costs, which is like £20 a day, minus my variable costs, which is at least 25 pence a mile. It's probably slightly more. Still not worked out for this van, but it's somewhere in that region. And I've got extra costs this week of that, what do you call it, Travelodge. So yeah, miles, only 821 miles this week, which is really low for 4 days. It's 205 miles a day, or just over. And my pence per mile is 98.2 pence a mile, loaded and unloaded from leaving here on a Monday to getting back on a Thursday night. So that's pretty good, just by doing that multi-drop and doing, I think, 3 minimum charge jobs, like low mileage minimum charge jobs, so really good pence a mile on them. Bumped it up, so yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, so that's, well, 10 minutes already anyway. So that's the week. So next week, obviously it's bank holiday today, Monday, so it's a 4-day normal week, working week. But the van's back in the garage on the Friday for a for this NOx sensor, nitrogen oxide sensor, which is part of the AdBlue system, to be fitted. So I'm not going to work Friday, so it's a 3-day week. So I'm not going to do a week in the life next week. I'm just going to have a week off and just crack on for them 3 days and earn what I can. Yeah, so bear with us a second. Yeah, just got a job for the morning. So yeah, had a text message off a shipper when I bid on. Looks like I bid for a job like early today. They've sent it through recently while I was just filming that. and he texted me to say, can you accept it, because this is one of them ones where you got to accept it, not just say you're on your way to the pickup. So that's good. Got a job for the morning from about 3 or 4 miles from home. Picking up at 6 was the only thing. Will get me out off my ass early doors at least. Down to Bromley, BR1, 161 miles, 160 quid I went in, so pretty much £1 a mile. I'll have to pay a Dartford crossing, or it's at like 2 quid. Don't even factor that in, to be honest. 2 quid. Yeah, so just want to say, yeah, thanks for watching. Hope if you're watching this as I upload it on a Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, hope you had a nice Easter. As ever, any comments, please put them below. Any tips for me or others? Yeah, thanks for watching.